Good morning. Welcome back to the new lesson. I am Anil. Today we are going to discuss change in quantity supplied versus change in supply. These are two different terminologies are using explaining changes in supply. Changes in supply. Changes in supply means quantity demand for a commodity, quantity supply of a commodity varies according to price and non-price factors. So there are two factors, price and non-price factors. Price and non-price factors. So the supply of a commodity changes due to change in price is known as change in quantity supplied. Supply of a commodity changes due to non-price factors. It is known as change in supply. So let us discuss one by one. Firstly, I am going to explain change in quantity supplied. Change in quantity supplied. Supply of a commodity rises or falls due to change in price. Look at this table. Price, quantity supplied. Here we are going to choose 3 prices and 3 quantity supply. Now I am going to start with the middle column, that is price is 10, quantity supply is 20 units. Now price of a commodity is going to falls from 10 to 5. What is going to happen on quantity supply? According to law of supply, price of commodity falls, the quantity of that commodity is going to fall. That means less price we are going to supply lower quantity. So supply is going to fall from 20 to 15. On the other hand, price of commodity is going to rise from 10 to 15. What is going to happen? The quantity supply is following on the same direction. The quantity supply is also going to rise from 20 to 25. Look at here. Here quantity supply changes from 20 to 15, from 20 to 25 because of change in price from 10 to 5, 10 to 15. So this situation we are going to explain on a diagram. Look at the diagram. For drawing a diagram, we need to access x and y. So, O, x and y. O, y, x we measure always price. O, x, x we always measure quantity supplied. Now, our price is 10, our quantity supply 20. Our price is going to rise from 10 to we can say 10 to 15. What is going to happen? Our quantity supply is going to increase 20 to 25. The next the price is going to fall from 10 to 5. Then what is going to happen? Our quantity supply is going to fall from 20 to 50. Now we get some point, we can say this is A, this is B, this is Z. So we are joining, we get a supply curve. This is called a supply curve. We know that one supply curve is slope upward. Now supply curve moves from A to B. Supply curve moves from A to B is known as expansion of supply. Expansion of supply. Now supply curve moves from A to C is known as contraction of supply. Contraction of supply. Now look at here. Expansion and contraction of supply. Our supply curve moves upward and downwards on the existing supply curve. That is very important. Our supply curve moves upwards and downwards on the existing supply curve. So they are expansion and contraction of supply because of change in price. The next we are going to discuss change in supply. What is the reason for change in supply? The reason for change in supply, change in non-price factors. Non-price factors, many non-price factors. For example, technical development definitely reduces cost of production. We can supply more. The same things, government policies. For example, government tax policies. Government reduces tax, definitely supply will increase. Government imposes tax, definitely supply will decrease. The same things, subsidy. Government introduce subsidy, definitely supply will increase. Government is going to remove subsidy, definitely supply is going to decrease. Now, this one we are going to explain firstly in a table. After that, we are going to explain in a diagram. So, price, quantity, supply. So we are going to choose 3 prices and 3 quantity supply. This is 10, this is also 10, this is also 10. Look at supply is 30, now supply is 20, supply is 40. Now supply varies. Supply increases and supply decreases because of non-price factors, because you can see our price remains same but supply varies 30 to 20 and 30 to 40 because of change in non-price factors. So this one we are going to explain on a diagram. Look at the diagram. You know, 2 axes, x and or x or y x always measure price, quantity, supply. Here we are using quantity supply, not supply. Now price is 10, quantity supply I can say this is 20. Now you know the shape of supply curve. Our supply curve slope upwards. This is our supply curve, SS. Now price remains same. Price remains same. The government is going to remove indirect tax. Government is going to remove indirect tax means it reduces cost of production. The cost of production is less, producer can produce more. Producer produce more means it will increase supply of the commodity in the market. So the supply curve is going to shift. Look at the supply curve is going to shift downwards. Supply curve is going to shift downwards. Then look at, this is our price. With this price we supplied more, that is 20 to 30. Look at, price remains same. We supplied more. Our supply curve shift downwards because of, now I gave the example, what is it? The government removes tax. Government removes tax means it reduces cost of production. That is why our supply increased. Supply increased 20 to 30. Our supply curve moves, our supply curve shift from S to S1. S to S1. We supplied more quantity with the same price. Now, another term we can use, rightward, supply curve shift rightward. I use the rightward because in the case of demand, we are using rightward. In the case of demand, increasing supply means, in the case of demand, increasing demand means demand curve shift upwards. But in the case of supply, demand curve shift downwards. But if you use the rightward, both cases we are using the same terminology, rightward. That's only. Now, the supply curve is going to shift upwards or leftward. Look at what is going to happen. Then S2, S2. Our supply curve shift upwards or leftward. With the same price, we are going to supply less quantity. That is, we can say 10. Look at here. Now supply shift upwards or leftward. What happened? Supply decrease. Supply decreased from 20 to 10. So because of non-price factors, I'm saying the same example. Now this case, government implemented tax, government hiked the tax, then definitely cost of production is going to high, then cost of production is going to high, producers are going to produce less and supply less. That is the reason. Then now I gave the example of tax is only, tax means one of the non-price factor, many non-price factors. Now I just give the example of tax. Many non-price factors are there. For example, technological development definitely reduces our cost of production. We can produce more. The another things, we can find cheaper raw materials. Definitely a producer find or the economy found a new source of raw material. Definitely cost of production reduces. We can produce more. Then another example, deterioration of technology. Definitely increase the cost of production, our supply is going to reduce. So these are the non-price factors. When the non-price factors change in our supply upwards and downwards, a favorable change in non-price factors, definitely supply increases, and unfavorable change in non-price factors, definitely supply decreases. So this also we can say shift in supply. Shift in supply. So change in supply or shift in supply. Then I'm going to brief this one, change in quantity supplied because of price. There are two changes, expansion and contraction. The next change in supply because of non-price factors. There are two changes, decrease in supply and increase in supply. It is also known as shift in supply. I hope that you understand well. So I will come back very soon with a new lesson. Thank you.